Welcome to This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. My name is Matt Menzel, and this week we talk men's hockey as they prepare for the Harris Cup Tournament quarterfinals with a weekend series at St. Norbert College. But up first, we talk women's basketball. I'm being joined by sophomore guard Jaden Ross as the women's basketball team wraps up their regular season with a couple of home dates coming up on Wednesday against Wisconsin Lutheran, and again with a senior day matchup against Edgewood, that on Saturday. But let's talk about you first, and how you ended up at Concordia.
So I didn't originally plan on playing basketball, and then my senior year of high school, I decided I can't give it up just yet. So I actually met Coach at the water park in the Dells, and my cousin introduced us, and he sent her some film, and she liked what she saw, I guess, and it was kind of my only choice after that, yeah.
That's the way to get it done at a water park in the Wisconsin Dells. You went to Baraboo High School, and I read that you had, at one point, 5 triple-doubles. Is that correct? And if so, what do you remember about those performances?
Yeah, my team in high school was a little rough, not as put together as it is here. But, yeah, so I don't really remember doing that, but it was fun.
When I watch you play basketball, obviously you can score. But I would say you're a heck of a defender. Is that a fair statement? Are you a heck of a defender? Do you take pride in your defense?
Yes, I love defense. I think it's my favorite part of the game. So I would say I'm a heck of a defender.
So when you go about trying to come up with a steal, what are you watching for? What do you focus on when you look at the opposition?
I try to read their eyes, and then especially their chest. That really tells you where they're going to throw the ball, and yeah.
How about for you? This is year number 2 for you at the collegiate level. What's been the big difference from one year to the next?
I'd say that I have a lot more confidence in myself, and the team definitely helps with that and being more comfortable with them, and Coach definitely has helped with that, but I'm definitely more confident in my skills and my ability to help produce on the court.
Well, let me ask you that. So going into your first college season, was that the big difference? Was the confidence? Was there another adjustment you had to make from high school to college?
It's definitely a lot faster than high school. We play a lot quicker, up and down a lot more, and it's also a bigger court, so you get tired a lot faster. And I'd also say, I was one of the better people on my high school team, and college everybody's equal, and you got to fight for that spot. So.
And you definitely have, and you've worked your way into these starting 5. You look at the way the team's playing right now and playing well. They've won 4 consecutive, 6 of their last 7. And right now the Falcons with 12 victories and 11 defeats overall, 11-3 in conference play. How do you feel like the team's playing at this moment?
I think we got it together in conference, especially having 11 wins and only 3 losses. I think the 3 losses, 2 of those were tough losses, and 1 we could have controlled better. But I think we play well. We're very cohesive as a team, and I think our main thing is our defense, and I think it's really hard to play against. We take a lot of pride in it. So.
And taking a look at the wins 3 and 4 of this 4-game win streak this past week, you knocked off Alverno on Thursday. That was an 82-52 result, a game that was postponed by a day thanks to Mother Nature. But let's talk about Saturday. You guys were able to squeak out a victory at Aurora, 64-62. What did you feel was the difference in that win?
I think we came out and we punched first. We had a mindset we're not going to get punked, and I think our defense and our rebounding, they're a big rebounding team. All their guards rebound, their posts rebound. We boxed them out. We crashed the boards hard. I think we played really well as a team, and we controlled the pace of the game.
How intense were the last couple of minutes of that game?
Very intense. I guess we like close games because we've had a couple of those, but coming out with that win felt really good, and we knew we should have won that game, and I'm glad that's the result.
Finally, as the team wraps up the regular season, again, the NAC tournament gets underway next week. Hopefully, at least one home game here inside the John Book Fieldhouse, and we'll have to wait and see how this week pans out. But you look, the team will be home on Wednesday, as mentioned, taking on first place Wisconsin Lutheran at 7 p.m., and then senior day on Saturday at 1 p.m. versus Edgewood, a team the Falcons owe some revenge to after a 64-51 setback in Madison earlier this season. To wrap things up, I guess your thoughts on the road ahead.
We're ready for WLC. Our coaches give us a scout. They give us everything we need to know, and we're ready to take them on. And then Edgewood on Saturday, they should be ready because we already have our revenge.
Absolutely. Jane, thanks a lot for your time. All the best to you and your teammates.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for more This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
I can't imagine being any other profession than an orthopedic surgeon. We have the privilege and we have the responsibility to make people better. We've been fortunate enough to take care of professional athletes. We've also been fortunate enough to take care of our neighbors and friends who trust us to give them back their life.
One of the main reasons I came here was because this is the way healthcare is meant to be delivered. Being devoted exclusively to orthopedic care means that we can focus on delivering specialized care for every patient. And that includes not only the surgeons and the physicians, but also anesthesia, controlling pain, the nurses, and the scrub techs, and everyone in the recovery is dedicated to treating conditions that are very similar for people.
Our tagline is an uncommon focus on you. We think the focus on the patient experience is what sets us apart. Before we make any process or clinical decision at the hospital, we start with the same question. Is this what's best for the patient? If we can't answer yes, we move on to the next idea. Our nurses provide care for no more than 3 patients per shift, whereas other facilities, they might provide care for 7 or even 8 patients per shift. We think this personalized care is what sets us apart from others.
I think that dedication to our patients is our number one focus. And you can technically do a good operation, but if you're not centered on the patient, they're not necessarily going to have a great outcome.
The Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is physician-owned. It's physician-led. We have the responsibility to make the right decision for every patient. We also have the freedom to make the right decision for every patient.
Physicians and staff collaborate through regular meetings, weekly and monthly, and with a relatively small team, we're able to change the way we do things if we need to tweak something to make it perfect.
The facility specifically was designed so that quality could be measured and maintained and sustained. When you have 7,000 patients a year receive their surgery here, it's important that patient number 1 and patient number 7,000 receive the same care.
We place an extremely high priority on the patient experience here. We send surveys to each and every person that receives care at our hospital. Those survey results come back directly to me. I review them and share them with our senior leadership, as well as the staff and the physicians that provide the care to those patients.
There's almost 5,000 hospitals in the country that are measured. The Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin measures number 1, not number 2, not number 3, not runner-up, number 1 in patient satisfaction in the state of Wisconsin for the last 10 years running.
Welcome back to This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. We now switch gears to men's hockey. Devin Sevignac, kind enough to join us, the freshman forward for the men's hockey team as they prepare for the Harris Cup Tournament quarterfinals against the 6th-ranked St. Norbert College Green Knights. And before we talk about that, let's talk about you a little bit and your journey here to Concordia, how you ended up here at Concordia.
Yeah, so Jim Mosso, Coach Mosso, reached out to me last year. I was playing out in Ottawa, Ontario, and we kind of got a great connection right away. He has a good vision for this program and the future, and I just want to be a part of it.
Let's take us through that first season so far. How's the adjustment been for you? What's been the biggest adjustment you've had to make?
Yeah, I think the biggest adjustment is just the size of the guys, the speed, how they're older than us, and it's always an adjustment moving into a bigger, newer league. And I think coming in, just preparing myself with speed, strength, really helped me through this season.
Do you feel like you were comfortable right from the get-go? Did it take a little while? Maybe when did you feel that comfort?
Yeah, I think coming right in, the guys helping me out, get comfortable, get that confidence back. It made a big difference for the season, and I think I just kept with it all year.
I know you've overcome some injury, but so far 9 goals, 7 assists. Are you pleased with the way your freshman season's played out?
Yeah, I'm happy with how it goes. You can never dictate on your points, how you're doing, and if they come, they come. If they don't, well, you just got to keep working on it.
Let's go back to this past week, and you guys had to win essentially to get into the Harris Cup tournament. So it's almost like you had a mini, playoff mindset already with this final week, and a tough loss Friday. Let's start there. That loss at Marion by a final score of 3-0. What did you feel was the difference on Friday?
Yeah, I think on Friday we just had more jump in us. We knew our season was on the line, and I think that's what brought us to that game. Just play up to that energy, and being at home helps a lot with the crowd and the fans. So, just Friday was a write-off, and then come Saturday we were ready to go.
Yeah, you talk about Saturday and coming through with the 5-3 results. Again, your back's against the wall. What was that mindset going in, just knowing that this is it, potentially?
Yeah, just kind of playing for that next, in the next day, for the guy beside you too. You got 3 or 4 seniors on our team where you want their season to last as long as it possibly can. Obviously winning with a championship would be ideal, but, as long as you can go throughout the season, in the playoffs is great.
You look at Saturday, you came through with a couple of goals, your second multi-goal performance this season. Describe those 2 goals.
Yeah, it was great. My line mate, Levi Carter, put it right on my tape, and happened to find the back of the net twice with him, and it just worked out.
That it did.
Yeah.
As mentioned, you get a couple of goals there, and again, propel the Falcons to a victory and a berth into the Harris Cup tournament. So now you take on a St. Norbert College team. Before we talk about the Green Knights, Falcons right now with 12 victories and 13 defeats, 7-11 in NCHA play. How would you summarize, I guess, the way the regular season went? I know you guys were in about every game. Obviously, some tough breaks along the way, but you're going into the postseason with a win.
Yeah, it's always great to go in the postseason with a win, especially against Marion. We're pretty close in the standings with them, so that was good for us. Throughout the year we had ups and downs, like every team, but you just got to remember the ups, forget the downs, and move on to the next game.
What do you feel like, I guess, when you look at your team on paper? You can say this, that, or whatever, but what do you feel are the strengths of this team?
I think our strength of the team is our speed. We can all move very well. We all move together very well. And I think just how close we are as a group, it translates on the ice. You can go on the ice with any kind of guy, any line, and I feel like we can just find each other.
Let's wrap it up by talking about this weekend. A big opportunity for the Falcons up into Pier, taking on St. Norbert, right now 6th in the entire nation. I know you were out for the first get-togethers with the Green Knights, but you guys were able to come away with a victory up into Pier, so you got that confidence booster, a 2-1 win back on January 17th and a 3-0 loss at home on January the 18th. But I guess your thoughts on the matchup against the Green Knights?
Yeah, I think we match up great. Going back like our program against them, we always have good matchups. It's always close games. And for us to go steal one there this year is a very good confidence booster, going to play 2 games there this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt you guys know what it takes. But Devin, all the best to you and your teammates. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you very much.
Take a look at what else is going on this week in Falcons athletics. We mentioned men's hockey with their Harris Cup tournament quarterfinal series against St. Norbert. Women's hockey will host their quarterfinal series that coming up on Friday, Saturday from the Ozaki Ice Center against the Marian University Sabres. Also of note, men's volleyball gets their NAC schedule started. They will be at St. Norbert tonight for their conference opener before they visit Chicago and take on IIT coming up on Saturday. In men's basketball, some important games coming up. Wednesday at Wisconsin Lutheran, Saturday at Benedictine before the NAC tournament starts. As for ACHA hockey, they get the Central Regional Tournament started from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Up first, the Iowa Hawkeyes, that on Friday. Coming up on Saturday, track and field at the Parkside Classic. Women's and men's tennis at Wheaton. Softball will be at Oshkosh. Men's lacrosse will be home against Kalamazoo. And then coming up on Sunday, acrobatics and tumbling against Trine. As always, stay tuned to CWFalcons.com for up-to-date scheduling information. Thanks for joining us this week for This Week in Falcons Athletics presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.